Hi there, Jester here, and today I'm with Pumpkin. Now, Pumpkin has a craft she'd like to show you, but first we're going to do a haul video. This is probably the only realistic haul video you will ever see, because there's not very much of it, and it's stuff that I will all end up using eventually. Pumpkin? So I picked up a couple of these pre-made canvases. I do have ones that are smaller, but I have something that I've got planned for the future that the smaller canvases wouldn't work for. So I picked myself up a couple of bigger ones, and we'll see how those work out. And I've got a bunch of these little resealable bags, because I go through them very quickly to try to keep my mess organized. And I picked up some of these stick-on Velcro. So I've got a couple of ideas for that too. And then when I was going through my stuff, I found that I already had a pack of these. So pack rats, try to stay on top of what all you have, because otherwise you end up buying double. And I picked up a little pack of stickers because it's got kitties on it. And then I realized that it's multiple sheets and there's different stickers on them. So let's take a look at that. So come on out. So not only do I have these little cartoon cats, I have cats and bunnies, and then more bunnies, and then bunnies and elephants. So I'm not really sure what the theme was here. Now, I can always find use for kitty things. Not so sure about the elephants, but, well, one can never have enough stickers. And then just a pack of, glue-on rhinestones, because I can always use rhinestones. And the key, I have tested it. It does fit in the magic box, but maybe if we want to do some sort of, Canadian-themed thing, we can get Canada stuff out of the magic box. And then there are these little paper pads. It's very thin paper, but I do like collecting it for various reasons. There's some fairly plain ones there, but then you also got fancy birds and plants. And where's my favorite ones? So there's this one. See if you can see it. But it's dragonflies, which is quite delightful. And then even more delightful, there's these. It's just, little bugs. I didn't even realize this when I had first bought it, because on the front cover it's just so small. And I opened it up and took a look. They were delightful little bugs. And then this other one is more just, fairly basic pattern paper, and also this sort of marbleized. I bought it more for the pattern paper. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the marbleized ones yet, but I think they might look good in resin. And then I picked up this, which I'm going to need to sand and paint and do a few little adjustments with for the office desk, because we have so many pens and notebooks and nonsense on there that a little caddy like this could come in handy. And of course, I want to decorate it first. So that was all dollar store stuff. And then also, I picked up more of this, canvas webbing, because I do intend to make another little bag someday, and I might as well have this. And that is what passes for a haul in these parts. Things that we actually have plans for, and not a whole lot of it. We really don't have the space for a more consumerist haul. And now we get to the crafting portion of our video with Pumpkin. And what Pumpkin has for us today is, well, you might have made them in grade school, but one of those little Origami Fortune Tellers. The ones where you take it and go, close, open, close. And I haven't made one, well, basically since grade school. So Pumpkin and I are going to walk you through the process if you haven't done it in 30 years too. Okay, and I'm going to need a proper flat surface since I'm going to be making folds. So first off, plain old sheet of printer paper, 8.5 by 11, does not matter the size. So, I mean, if it's too small, the folds are going to get real gummed up. But so the first thing you do, since we need it to be a square, is you want to line up the edges and then fold it down that way. So you've got this sort of shape. And then you take your scissors. If we were being, extremely fussy about this, I'd get out the box cutter and the ruler for this, but it's not that important. Now we're just gonna carefully cut along. There we go. Got a little bit of scrap. And now we have a square. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the square, and you can see it folds this way. We're going to fold it again so that we have and again, if I was being fussy, I could get out the bone folder, but this is just a cute little project. It doesn't matter if I just use my fingernails. Okay, so now we've got this square with a plus sign in the middle of it. Now our next fold, we're going to take the corner and we're going to fold it up into the center. And we're going to do that all the way around. Okay. There we go. Now we've got this little package. Now we're going to take this, and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take our corners, and we're going to fold them up to the center. There we go. So we've got that little package shape again. That's what it looks like on this side. So now, to make sure it's nice and flexible, we're going to take this, and we're going to, so this is the side we folded second. I'm going to take this, and we're going to fold it over just to make sure that everything is all nice and foldable. And then we're going to do it the other way as well. Then we're going to take these bits and we're going to squish them in. And you could glue it here and put some eyeballs on, and then you've got a little lizard or a fish or something. But we're not doing that. We are going to flip these inside out. So now we have this shape. So now what you need to do is you need to put your numbers or your letters or your words or whatever you're using. Let's see, I've got my markers over here. What color should I do this in? You, of course, want orange. All right, pumpkin. Let's do a nice bright orange. Yeah, you can put whatever you want on here to control however many folds it is, as long as it's odd, even numbers. So you can either just go straight numbers, or if you're doing, words, you want half the words to have odd numbers of letters and half to have even numbers of letters. So I think I'm going to, on the outside, I'm going to go with color just to show you. So let's do, I'm going to have red, so that's 3 letters. Blue, that's 4. Let's see. Green is 5, yeah. And yellow has 6. There, so there's my basic. Let's do a different color, like green. All right, nice green. Then on the inside, I think I'm just going to do numbers. So you fold that out like that. And I'm just going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And I think I'm going to use red for predictions, and I'm going to put inside. So yeah, then you can put whatever predictions and such in there that you'd like. Now, if I recall correctly, back in grade school, the peak of comedy was to make all the fortunes words like Bart. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do it more like a magic 8-ball sort of thing. So, like maybe Yes. No. Maybe. Never. Soon. Unknown. Sure. And just for 6-year-old me, art. So then I need to fold all this back up. And now I've got a working fortune teller. Okay, pumpkin. I have 4 colors. Which one would you like? You want yellow. Okay. Y-E-L-L-O-W. Okay, and then you can see inside we have different numbers, 4, 7, 8, and 3. So which number would you like? 3. Okay. We go 1, 2, 3. And now the numbers we have are 1, 2, 5, and 6. Which number would you like? Okay, 5. But what's our question? Are ghosts real? Pretty sure ghosts aren't real. At least don't say that around the doctor. The doctor will lecture you. Okay, number 5. Unknown. Great. Oh, that wasn't very helpful. Okay, let's have another question. Can we get candy after the episode? Well, see what the fortune teller says. What color do you want this time? Red? Okay, so R-E-D. And we've got 1, 2, 5, and 6. Which would you like this time? 2? Okay, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 5, and 6 again. 5. Did we do 5 before? Yeah, we did 5 before. That's the unknown. Pick something else. 2. Okay. 2 says maybe. Well. What does a little paper fortune teller know? We are definitely getting candy after the episode. In fact, we're just going to end the episode now so we can get candy. Until next time, stay crafty.